Welcome back to Disturbed Reality. On the 17th of October 2018, the city of Kerch in Crimea was rocked by an unforeseen tragedy that took the lives of 20 innocent people. The Kerch Polytechnic College Massacre was a school shooting and a bomb attack that occurred in Kerch, Crimea on the 17th of October 2018, where 18-year-old college student Vladislav Roslyakov killed 20 people and wounded 70 others before eventually committing suicide. The attack was perpetrated by fourth-year student of the college, 18-year-old Vladislav Igorovich Roslyakov. Truth be told, there were several red flags along the way that, if took seriously, may have prevented the deadly shooting. When Vladislav was 10 years old, he suffered the first trauma in his life. His parents broke up when his father sustained a severe head injury, after which he became disabled and aggressive towards Vladislav and his mother, as well as other relatives. It's said that his father would become both physically and emotionally abusive to both Vladislav and his mother. Vlad studied at a local school, showing no interest and attaining poor grades. He was seen as socially awkward and had few friends, and his hobbies included weapons and playing video games. Some sources cite that he was the victim of bullying throughout his school years, though this hasn't been officially confirmed. Despite his poor grades and lack of attention at school, he enrolled at the Kerch Polytechnic College in 2015, and he joined the college to study to become an electrician. On the surface, it seemed that Vladislav was on the right track, studying for a skilled trade that could lead to a promising career. However, while attending college, he developed an interest in explosives and weapons, and even started to take a knife bayonet to class, according to testimonies. Despite the red flags, Vladislav continued to attend the school without any intervention in regards to his bizarre behaviour. A rage was burning inside Vlad, and he was a time bomb that was waiting to explode in a fit of violence. One day at college, he discharged pepper spray in class, and subsequently failed to explain his actions. Once again, despite the outward act of aggression, it went no further with his teachers. His mother, who was a Jehovah's Witness, was said to limit his social activities. She searched his pockets and refused to allow him to go to the cinema or use a computer, only allowing the latter when he turned 16 years old. Much like many serial and spree killers, Vlad's overbearing mother only served to add fuel to his rage. Despite his religious upbringing, in the days immediately before the attack, Vladislav stated that he did not believe in the afterlife, and on the eve of the attack, according to his neighbours, Vladislav burned a Bible in which he had highlighted verses, along with his mobile phone and some other books. A classmate later claimed that Vladislav hated the Polytechnic very much, and he had vowed revenge on his teachers. There were also reports that he may have been bullied. According to an ex-girlfriend, Vlad had informed her that he had lost faith in people when his classmates started to ridicule him for being different. In the days before the attack, he shared nihilistic worldviews on social media, discussing topics such as the ignorance of others and the lack of purpose in his life, as well as talking about suicide and mass shootings. Vlad was involved in a number of online communities dedicated to serial killers and mass shooters. On the 8th of September 2018, Vladislav Roslyakov legally purchased a shotgun, the same gun in which he would use for his massacre. Later, on the 13th of October 2018, he then legally purchased 150 rounds from the same gun shop, and in the next few days, he planned out his brutal attack. No specific reason was given for Vlad choosing the date of October 17th, but this was the date he chose to murder as many people as possible before ending himself. At 11:45 AM on the 17th of October 2018, Vladislav entered the college dressed in black trousers and wearing a white t-shirt embroidered with the word hatred. His clothing resembled that of Eric Harris, one of the perpetrators of the 1999 Columbine High School massacre, leading to speculation that the massacre was a copycat crime. According to some Russian tabloids, he had been a member of various Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold fan clubs on social networks, and had informed friends of his belief that it would be good to have a massacre, specifically referencing Columbine High School as an example. As shown on CCTV footage, Vladislav was armed with an 8-shot 12-gauge Hatsan Escort aim guard pump-action shotgun with a pistol grip, as well as carrying explosives. A survivor of the incident said that the shooting lasted for more than 15 minutes. Several witnesses described a lone gunman walking up and down the halls at the Kerch Polytechnic College and firing randomly at classmates and teachers. He also fired at computer monitors, locked doors, and fire extinguishers. A large nail bomb was detonated during the attack, and local police said that they deactivated more explosives on the campus. However, there was initially variation in survivors' accounts of the incident, with some claiming that a large bomb exploded and others describing only gunfire and the use of grenades. Local news reports claimed that the explosion occurred on the first floor, although the shooting occurred on the second. State television channel Russia 24 said that 200 military personnel had been sent to the location, though eyewitness accounts differ about the time it took for law enforcement to respond, as times differ between 10 and 15 minutes, even though a police station is across the street within 300 meters of the college. The massacre finally ended when the gunman committed suicide in the college library. CCTV footage of the massacre does exist, as well as some mobile phone footage. From my research, I came to the conclusion that in totality, there is around 18 minutes of footage from that fateful day available. One piece of film captured showcases Vladislav walking across the college courtyard on his own, wearing a coat and carrying a rucksack on his back and a large bag in his hand. Teenagers can be seen having fun across the courtyard, cracking jokes, smiling and laughing as the lone wolf, Vladislav, makes his way to the building. Knowing what is about to happen, the footage is extremely haunting. Other footage shows Vladislav and others wandering through the college corridors as they make their way to classes. There are several clips showing this, until a camera in one of the corridors captures an explosion caused by a homemade bomb. The blast occurs at the end of a corridor and near students. More CCTV footage shows Vladislav stalking the school corridors, shotgun in hand, looking for victims. In one scene, you see a teacher walking down the corridor, and in the next frame, due to an editing cut, she is face down on the floor with a gunshot wound. She is still breathing, but remains still. Another piece of footage captures the moment where Vladislav guns down a student at the opposite end of the corridor. Vlad is around 30 or so meters away. He then shoots the student in the torso. The student attempts to flee, but Vlad then shoots him in the back, which drops the poor victim to the ground. The killer then slowly walks past the victim and shoots him one more time before walking by. Footage also captures Vladislav wandering through classrooms looking for victims. Even in empty classrooms, he proceeds to shoot computer screens and even fire extinguishers. You can see him reloading intermittently through the CCTV footage. Mobile footage of the fateful day is also available. One harrowing piece of footage shows a group of students creeping through a corridor, remaining quiet and looking out for the killer, before eventually climbing through a broken window to escape the building. Vladislav ended his spree by shooting himself with the weapon in which he killed 20 innocent people with. He shot himself under the chin, essentially blowing his brains out in the library, much like his idols, the Columbine killers. Mobile footage, presumably from police, can also be seen online. His body can be seen motionless in the library in a pool of blood. His head has been destroyed by the shotgun blast, and either a part of his skull or a piece of his brain can be seen a couple of feet away from the body. Russia's National Anti-Terrorism Committee said that most of the victims were teenagers. 15 students and 5 teachers died. 6 of the deceased were under the age of 18. However, this figure was later revised to 11. Countless others were also injured after the attack, with a few ending up in critical comas. Not to mention the psychological scars that the victims will carry with them for the rest of their lives. Russia's investigative committee initially classified the attack as terrorism, but later changed it to mass murder. In the days immediately following the massacre, investigators researched Vladislav Roslyakov's background in attempts to establish his precise motive. These investigators also revealed that ultimately they were treating the incident as a calculated shooting. Officials also investigated certain concerns surrounding the case, such as where Vladislav got the 30 to 40,000 rubles for the weapon, and where he learned to use those weapons. It was discovered that Vladislav obtained a weapon permit in 2018 and owned the gun legally after completing a legally required training course on weapon security and presenting all required documents, including a medical report. He also attended a local shooting club. The investigative committee ordered a psychiatric evaluation of Vladislav's post-mortem. Crimean Prime Minister Sergei Aksyonov stated on the 18th of October that it was possible that the perpetrator had an accomplice, and police were searching for the individual who was coaching Vladislav for the crime. However, on the 9th of November 2018, the investigative committee came to the conclusion that Vladislav was a lone wolf. Ultimately, his motive was purely and simply hatred. The case is extremely harrowing, and quite frankly, one of the saddest I've covered in quite some time. Footage of Vladislav wandering through the college corridors looking for his next victim is extremely unsettling. But even more disturbing, in my opinion, is the footage taken before the attack, which shows Vladislav wandering through the college grounds like a ghost, those around him unaware of the danger that they are in, and what is about to transpire in a matter of minutes. As mentioned, the case is extremely sad, and it's not the type of case in which I'm used to covering, so I hope I've done it justice. But anyway, if you would like more videos like this in the future, please do let me know in the comments below. Alternatively, you can also drop me a DM on Twitter, or even drop me an email, but I'm not great at replying to emails, quite frankly. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, if you can enjoy this sort of content. As always guys, thank you for the support. Check out my socials in the pinned comments, my Twitter, my Twitch where we do live streams, things of that nature. Check them out, it would be much appreciated. But, as always, stay safe, and I'll catch you on the next one.